Red flag number 12, single mothers. What's wrong with a single mother? Maybe she just made a mistake, or she needs help too. Like, shouldn't we save her?
That's what they want you to believe, don't they? So I have an entire chapter in my book that deals with single mothers because I think it's such a difficult conversation to have. And I'm speaking from experience because, been there, done it, got the t-shirt. You're in a position where you essentially choose to cuckold yourself. And if you don't know what that means that you're raising children that aren't biologically yours. The reason why we are on this earth today is to scatter our seed and pass on our DNA, our name, our legacy, and all that sort of stuff. And if you choose to abandon an opportunity to do that, to raise another man's seed and provide for them, then you're essentially a cuck. You also have a number of other issues, which are deep in the chapter, so you guys have to read for that, but I'll cover another one, is that you have parental responsibility to children that you have to raise and protect and provide for and take on vacations and dinners and birthdays, help zero in little Billy's scope on his BB gun. You do all of these things, but you don't generally have any authority over them. You have responsibility to them, but you don't have any authority over disciplining them. And if you do try to discipline them, quite often what most guys find happen is they hear some version of, "You're not my father, you can't tell me what to do," and they throw a hissy fit. And mom, of course, will then side with the bratty child rather than doing what's right.
Yeah. Even with my own children, my wife and she makes it a point to put me ahead of the children. And I do the same thing for her. She always, her opinion, of course, she's my teammate in this. But it seems as if when there's someone else's child involved, that child goes before you as her husband or whatever.
Correct.
Yeah, bad deal. Yeah, like you said, it's a tough one. Is there a lot of guys that find themselves in this situation and maybe find out a little too late that this was a bad idea? And, guys want to protect, they want to provide, they want to save, but not at the expense of what
There was an era where it was shameful to be a single mother. Right. If you're a single mother 500 years ago, you would generally be banished, or you might even be forced to work in a brothel, for example, to sort of, provide for your child. So it was frowned upon. Today, with culture and society, Hollywood and media, it's like, it's celebrated. Oh, you're so strong and brave. On Father's Day, you'll hear women on social media, let's praise all those single mothers because they're doing the jobs of the mothers and the fathers, sort of thing. And I don't think that it's good for society, for culture, or for the world in general, because, the statistics are very clear. Children that are incarcerated, vast majority of them come from single mother households. Children that run away from home, vast majority of them single mother households. Poor grades, single mother households. Gang activity, teenage pregnancies. I go right down the list. The absence of fathers in a household is a terrible thing for children. Now, some guys might say, "Well, then I'll step up and I'll take care of it." Okay, well, you can, but you've also cucked yourself now, and now you're not raising your own kids, right? So, there's a lot of women out there that bring children in tow. There's a lot of guys that send me screenshots of dating apps and are like, "Take a look at this, Rich. I can't believe this is happening." And it's like a 25-year-old, and her profession is stay-at-home mom in the description, and she's got 3 kids from 3 different fathers, and she's pregnant in her Bumble advertisement for men. And this is accepted. This is normalized.
Right. Go, girl.
You go, girl. You're so strong and independent. And because there's so many simps out there, they'll swoop in and they'll sign up for it.
So as far as, the deplorable statistics of the outcome for children that are raised by single mothers, I read recently that there are the exact opposite statistics for children that are raised by a single father. In fact,
correct. Isn't that interesting?
Better. Right.
Interesting. Yeah.
It's the exact opposite of what we're told in our, in our culture and what the courts will propose, that the child needs a mother. No, in fact, they fare better with just a father.
Yeah.
Crazy backwards world we live in. Cool. So red flag number 13. So women seeking validation. What do you mean by that? Don't most women seek validation?
Yeah, there's a meme somewhere where men tend to use things like cell phones like this, where they'll take pictures of like cars, landscapes, the Grand Canyon when they're traveling, sort of thing. Women, on the other hand, they'll turn the camera around and they'll do the selfie. So they use their phone for completely different reasons. That's another strong example of how men and women are different. So women tend to use social media today to garner the follows, the likes, and the attention of guys for their, whether it's OnlyFans or their Instagram, account, whatever it is they're looking for. But again, let's say that you're at the point where you're dating a gal and she says, Elliot, I dig your vibe. I want to claim you. I don't want to share you. You should take a good look at her, take a good look at her social media presence and see what she's been doing with it. And if you find out that she's been posting photographs of herself, sometimes promiscuous photographs of herself, sometimes they'll even use photographs that you've taken of her with you cut out of the photograph or something like that. Yeah. So, if she's been out there posting sexy, provocative pictures of herself, an easy response would be, well, I like you too, but I can't take a woman seriously if she's out there seeking the attention and validation of others on social media. You want to claim me? Fine. You need to stop this behavior. You're either going to cancel your Instagram, shut it down, make it private, but this is going to stop, right? That's your opportunity to put your foot down and lay down the frame of the relationship, because that's really the only time you can do it. I mean, you can't do it 3 years in, if she's been doing it and getting away with it, and you say, you know what, you need to stop this because I saw this video with Elliot and Rich and he said that, seeking validation is not a good thing. So we need to cut this off. That's when she's going to call you controlling, manipulative. She's going to complain to her friends and maybe even, bounce on that relationship. So it's something you have to catch early on. You have to identify early on, but women don't even know that they're doing it because it's common today. Everybody has social media, but people don't understand why they're using social media. She's getting DMs from guys. Most of them are thirsty nerds. They're, just geeks that aren't going to crank her wheel. But the fact that she's getting thousands of likes or comments or you're so beautiful girl or DMs from guys over and over again, even if it's guys that she doesn't like, she has an elevated overestimation of her value on the sexual marketplace and has a belief of entitlement. You don't want a woman walking around with a big head, right? Be beautiful, take care of yourself. But if we're going to be together, you're mine. Like, let's just make that clear. You're not sharing these photographs that I should be seeing with everybody out there to consume. And at some point, she might get hit on by some high value guy, right, and she might have an opportunity to entertain that, if you permit it. So,
I was thinking about your point about how men take pictures of things, women take pictures of themselves. I think they're going to do it regardless. And so what are they taking pictures of themselves with? I think it made me, what really made this go off in my head was that they cut out the picture of you in their picture. Even my wife, like me and the kids, we're always like rolling our eyes because she constantly wants to take pictures, but it's of the family. It's she and I, it's with the children. And so I tend to see that there are a lot of women who are married with children and the pictures that are on their profile are them. Yeah. Oftentimes it might be them with their baby, just, trying to get
absolutely fine
validation from other women that I have a baby. But then I ask myself, well, where's your husband?
Yeah. So when it gets to the point, like, you'll start to notice this. So once you see this, you can't unsee it. I'm sorry, I'm going to ruin this for some people right now, but you'll see this around Valentine's Day, anniversaries, where there'll be a social media post from a guy and he'll say, she's my everything. She's, without her, I would be nothing, blah, blah, blah. She's a great mother to my kids, best friend, all this sort of stuff. And there's tags and posts of her, looking beautiful on the beach in some outfit or something like that. Cause he's trying to say basically, my wife's hot, or, my wife's hot and check out my great kids sort of thing. And that's fine. But if you click through on who he's tagging and then you see the other side of the equation and that doesn't exist, like, that's not reciprocated. She's not saying, I've been with this man for 10 years. He's the best thing I've ever had, the best choice I ever made. It's just a picture of her still on her profile on the beach with her girlfriends from her girls' weekend away, drinking their piñatas or whatever it is that they're putting back. That's questionable. That is, to me, a sign that the clock is potentially ticking down to the end of that relationship. So when you watch the behaviors that are used online on social media, you can have a pretty good picture of the health of that relationship and where it's going.
Yeah, 100%.
I really hope you guys enjoyed that clip. If you want to watch the full-length podcast, you can find that over here, that clip's from. If you're newer to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe over here. And pinned down below in the top comment, you'll find a bunch of useful links to my website, my supplement line, books, and a bunch of other stuff. Have an amazing day. Peace out.